Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's make carrot stew with tomatoes, tatashe, which is bell peppers, the spicy pepper, which is scotch bonnet, ginger and onions. I didn't show that in this video, but this is the bell peppers, also known as tatashe. I have washed them before, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to give the bell peppers some quick shower rather. Just rinse it a little bit, and next I'm going to also wash the peppers and the tomatoes as well. This is the pepper. I have washed it before. I'm just going to give it a quick rinse, showing you guys how I did it in this video. When it comes to making Nigerian stew or carrot stew, it is so delicious and it goes so well with anything. The Nigerian stew can go with rice, it can go with ofada rice, it can go with yam, it can go with plantain, and it can also go with okra as well. For eating fufu, people usually boil okra and Nigerian stew together and use it to eat the popular fufu like you always watch on fufu mukbang videos. So here is me rinsing out the carrots for us to prepare our carrot stew. This is the tomatoes as well. I'm just rinsing everything out. I'm going to show you guys step by step the easy way to make carrot stew, easy Nigerian stew. And I'm also using mackerel fish for this stew recipe because it is so delicious, and I love mackerel in my Nigerian stew or African stew recipe. Now let's move to the next stage. This is everything. You can see them clean, freshly washed, and so delicious. Now let's move on. Now it's time for me to maybe prepare the fish. So I'm just going to wash the cutting board, but before preparing the fish, I think I have to cut the carrots first. So for the carrots, I'm going to slice some into little cubes. This is me taking the knife. So yeah, I'm just going to slice the carrots into tiny cubes for garnishing, and I'm going to use the one I'll be using for the blending. I'm going to cut it into bigger chunks. So this is the one I'm going to be using for garnishing our carrot stew, because if you are eating carrot stew, I want you to know that you are eating a healthy food. Carrot is packed with lots of vitamins, a lot of nutrients. People just underestimate carrots. Carrot is super healthy. You need to consume more carrots, and one way for you to consume more carrots is by making carrot stew. For you to make carrot stew, watch this video to the end, because I'm going to show you detailed step-by-step way to make the perfect, the most delicious carrot stew that your family will love. The first time I heard of carrot stew was last year, although people have been making it before now, and it was during the tomato scarcity. There was tomato scarcity in Nigeria, and if you even see tomatoes to buy, it will be very, very expensive. So because of that, people were looking for alternative to tomato stew, and that is where the invention of carrot stew came to place in Nigeria. If not, before now, carrot stew is not among the popular recipes that is on the Nigerian dishes menu. Carrot stew just came into existence not so long ago, and we absolutely love it because it is enjoyable, it is delicious, and we don't want to leave it. So now I'm slicing the carrots. As you can see, these are the tiny ones. This one is the one I'm going to use to garnish the stew after preparing it. This one I'm not going to overcook it. It's going to be tasting a little bit crunchy and a little bit fresh when you are eating it in the Nigerian stew. So this is how to cook yours. Make sure to have some carrots diced that you can use to garnish this stew. You'll definitely love it. But if you are not really a fan of carrots, or you think your kids may not like seeing carrots in the stew, they want to pick it out, it's okay. You don't have to do this part. So this is me trying to cut the other bigger part of the carrot into bigger chunks, so that I will just blend it up with the tomatoes, the bell peppers, tatashe, atarodo, which is scotch bonnet, onions, ginger and garlic. So after cutting it, I'm just putting it into the blender. But if you have a very good, strong and powerful blender, you can as well skip this part. But me, I do not really have a very good blender. I'm just managing my blender, so I'm just trying to make the work easier for my blender. That is why I'm cutting it into smaller pieces before blending it. And I love it. It's kind of fun to me. It's kind of fun for me. I just like doing it. So let's go ahead and blend it. Don't forget to add water. You need water to blend it. And I'm going to add the ginger now. So this is me adding the ginger, and I'm going to as well add some amount of water to blend the carrot. Now time to blend this up. As it's blended, time to prep the tatashe. This is tatashe. This 3 pieces like this is sold for 200 naira. That's about 50 cents or less than 50 cents. I bought this 3 for less than 50 cents, and it's super fresh and it's amazing. So I love it in Nigerian stew. It gives this a very beautiful red color. And if you don't want it, it's optional though, but it's amazing. Don't forget to throw away the seed. You wouldn't like the seed of tatashe in your stew, because the seed is so big and it's a lot of seed. So now it's time to give it a quick rinse. After cutting it, I'm just going to give it a very quick rinse, and I'm going to go ahead and blend everything up with the remaining ingredients for our Nigerian stew. But yeah, at this stage we're adding everything. Time to add as all you want to add, and blend. The reason I blended the carrots first is because I was thinking it's going to take more time, but I think it didn't take more time. So yeah, let's move to the next stage. After adding the bell peppers, tatashe, it is now time to add the tomatoes. I've dumped everything into the blender, and there is no need to add more water because there is already liquid from the carrots already. So I'm going to gently blend everything until everything is perfectly mixed and smooth. At this stage, I almost forgot to add the pepper, but I have added the other peppers and onions now, and this is what we have. Very smooth consistency, and it's time for us to move to the next stage, which is prepping the fish. To prep the fish, I'm just going to wash the fish, season it, fry it, and I'm going to use the same oil that I used to fry the mackerel fish. I'm going to use the same oil to make the carrot stew. So this is powder pepper, and this is fish seasoning, and this is curry powder, and this is a little amount of salt. Now we're going to mix everything together. Once it's mixed, I'm going to pour it over the fish, and I'm going to mix everything until it is fully incorporated into the fish. Then we're going to leave it for about 30 minutes to marinate, and we're going to fry it. I so much love mackerel fish that I don't think I'm going to be enjoying any other fish the way I enjoy mackerel fish. In fact, my favorite protein to use to make this carrot stew is either mackerel fish or goat meat or beef or fried turkey. And if I'm using beef, goat meat, turkey, is the same process as I'm cooking this mackerel fish carrot stew. Is the same process I'll still use to cook the turkey, goat meat or beef. The only difference is I have to pre-cook that one. After seasoning properly, I have to pre-cook. When it's soft, I'm just going to go ahead and fry them the same method I'm frying the mackerel fish. You know, fish is soft. It doesn't take longer time to cook compared to meat, especially when you are cooking beef. Even goat meat and turkey will still take lesser time to cook. But you see, beef, especially the kind of cow meat we have in Nigeria, they are usually very matured, and the meat takes longer time to cook, depending on the size which you cut it though. If you cut it into smaller pieces, it cooks faster than when you cut the meat in bigger pieces. So once one side of the mackerel fish is properly fried, I'm flipping it over to the other side. I'm supposed to use, I don't know if I'm using the right frequency to flip it, but this is just what I was able to lay my hands on, and I'm just trying to flip the fish over. In fact, thank God it did not even get scattered. Some fish must have been scattered by now. So yeah, once it's golden brown, properly fried, we're just going to take it out of the oil and continue the cooking process. Our fish is properly fried now. Time to take it out of the oil. In the same oil, I'm going to add some onion slices. You know the oil is already flavored, plus the spices from the fish and the flavor in the fish is already immersed into this cooking oil. Now I already put the onions and fried it for about 30 seconds. Time to add the blended mix. This is a mixture of carrots, ginger, garlic, tatashe, which is bell pepper, scotch bonnet, and fresh tomatoes. Now it's time to mix properly, and we're going to allow it to fry. When you hear Nigerian stew, it is frying. We're going to fry it in this amount of oil until it is really brought down. Now, as you can see, the liquid content in the sauce is already reduced. I'm just adding bay leaf. This is dry bay leaves. So once I add the dry bay leaves, I'm just going to mix properly. I want the bay leaf to release its flavor into the stew, and we'll continue with the cooking process. This stew has been frying for about 20 minutes now. As you can see, the oil is already floating, and it's time to season. The oil is floating on top now. The liquid content is really gone down. This is thyme, dry thyme, a little bit of curry powder, and this is some chicken seasoning cubes and some little amount of salt. I tasted it. You can just go ahead and mix everything properly and taste it. So I tasted mine, and the salt content is not really okay for me, so I went ahead to add a little amount of salt. So this is me giving it a very good stir. As you can see, it's now very thick, not like the way it was watery the first time I finished blending it. So this is me adding little amount of salt to taste, and that's all I'll be adding. At this stage, it's already frying at a very high heat. You can see it's properly fried now. Our stew is ready to almost go down the heat. So this is me adding the fried mackerel. That thing I removed is the dry onions I used to flavor the oil when I was frying the fish. So now time to allow the fish and the carrot stew to marry themselves together in the pot. Let the fish release its flavor into the stew, and let the stew release its flavor into the fish, and everything will be so delicious and flavorful. Time to garnish with carrots. This is the diced carrots you guys saw me dicing earlier, so here it is. Time to add it. And also I love to add ugu leaves. Ugu leaf is a green vegetable, and it's full of nutrients. I love to make maximum use of the leaf, so I always add it to this my stew, and it's so delicious. This is ugu leaf. It is freshly washed and sliced, so I'm just going to fold it into the carrot stew, and it tastes so amazing. So like I said before, this carrot stew can go with white rice, brown rice, or fada rice, plantain, boiled yam, especially white soft boiled yam, plantain, potato, anything, even bread. People eat stew with bread. It's just so delicious that you can eat it with anything, even with beans, spaghetti, any kind of pasta. You can eat Nigerian stew with them, and you're definitely going to like it. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to like and share my video. I will definitely see you guys on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. But before I leave you guys, I just want to ask you a question. If you make this stew, what are you pairing it with? Rice, plantain, yam, or what are you pairing it with?